Alright. Hopefully this just loaded up very quickly. But it's time to talk about the downsides of Valkyria Chronicles. And sadly, there are a few big ones to discuss here. And I'm starting here because this is a great example of the first big point. The maps of Valkyria Chronicles are hard-coded. They are set each time you play. So I know once I play a map how many shock troopers, how many snipers, and so on to the field. But the problem is that for the first time going through each map, you're at a huge disadvantage as you're asked to assign units without knowing what you're going to face. So right now I have to decide, okay, where am I going to put my guys, but what am I dealing with? Do I need a sniper? Which group's going to need anti-tank units? It's very hard to know. And this kind of leads into the case of you just kind of putting units together willy-nilly. Now, before I started the video, they told me that there was a warning about mines. So we're going to hopefully have an engineer in each group to try and defend against that. Okay, that's all of them. Now, another thing to keep in mind about the game is, even though I'm going to have 9 members on this field, I will not have 9 points of CP. And this again leads into that conflict of the mechanics of Valkyria Chronicles. By the fact that you want to, the game tells you to be very strategic and plan out your moves, but you can't use every unit. I'll let him say his little thing. Go, Welkin, go. Alright, so, once they're done talking again, she's just talking about team attacks. You don't really need to do that. But if you look at the top there, I only have 7 CP, but there's 9 units. Traditionally, in a strategy game, you basically get actions per unit. If you're playing XCOM, if I have 4 squaddies, I have 4 actions. But in this kind of situation, it basically punishes you for using your entire army, because you will never be able to move everybody up. Now, another major issue with the game is that it's very easy to waste CP. If you select the wrong unit, or you select someone who can't do anything, let's say because the enemy's behind cover or there's a tank, you just wasted one of your actions. And if you're trying to get a good rank that you need to level up and get resources that way, you're kind of forced to restart. Now, let's not step on that mine if I can help it. And let's see here. They don't see me just yet. So again, you always want to take out commanders when possible, or the leaders. Bye. There's that. Now we have to take out those anti-tank units, because if they destroy our tank, it's mission fail. Roger. So we'll take Haynes next. Again, trying not to step on that tank, or step on that mine. But if you notice, we can't get them all the way to the front, so we have to go again. Empire. Alright, you. Say goodnight. You're dead. I love this guy. Enemy there. Alright, so that's that. And now we have to start moving up. The idea is we need to get our tank to the supply base in the northeast. But there's a problem. We have basically pure anti-tank units here. So we need to figure out a way to thin them out. So let's start moving our people up. And if you remember from a few minutes ago, I talked about the problem that I had with these sandbags. And you're going to see that in this mission.
Use the trees for cover.
Alright. So move them up. Now, because I've done this mission before, I know that there is going to be a commander unit to the northeast. Or, I'm sorry, through this path here.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Enemy sighted.
Uh-oh. Gotta take her out quick. Or take this one out quick before he just demolishes her. Oh, God. That's very bad. Oh, we got a lucky dodge.
It's a miss. Fall back now.
I may actually just spend the extra CP to move our stormtrooper here.
Beat Empire.
Alright, good enough.
Ha, leave it to me.
And I hope you notice that our engineer is basically being way left out there. Alright, so here is the issue about sandbags. They are magic in the world of Valkyria Chronicles by the fact that they will provide cover 360 degrees as long as someone is crouching behind them. But I can't hide behind a tree or hide behind a fence or anything like that, because that doesn't provide any kind of defense. Now I'm going to try and get an explosion, but I don't think we're going to get it.
Medic. Medic.
Can I do this? Come on, blow it up. And this can lead to some very awkward situations, such as a sniper shooting someone in the head, but because they're crouched behind a sandbag, they will not die from it. Now it's their turn. Uh-oh. Look out!
Now.
They're all moving around. Notice there's another anti-tank over there. Now she'll recover some health after this, so I'm not too concerned about her. Good. Yeah, that just tells us about evasion. So the very first thing that I want to do is deal with the ace, because that will reduce their effectiveness going forward. Alright, say goodnight, buddy. Alright, you're out.
You're dead.
Enemy unit neutralized.
Now, I'm going to take this guy out specifically so that he doesn't immediately run down and kill us. Let's see how Cherry's doing down here. The grenade we use has recovered. Now let's see if we can take him out. Got him.
Like, duh.
Again, JRPG tropes are here in this game. So now comes the tricky part. Do I run in and try to take that base? Actually, I'm going to wait one more turn. Ooh, my voice is dying. Because I want to talk about why the sandbags are an issue.
Roger.
But I'm going to send our friend Haynes up here.
Dying time.
Dying time, exactly.
You're dead.
On some maps, enemy troops can be called in for reinforcements. Now, the way down there takes us to the enemy base, but we're not doing that. And that's another major point about Valkyria Chronicles. The game loves, and I mean really loves, to have scripted events and situations that can just wreck you.
I'll try my best.
In this case, there's an actual boss fight in this game.
When I trip.
And what happens is, when the second you step into that enemy base, the game will call in a boss. And this is an issue that becomes more and more prevalent in the later Valkyria Chronicles series. Because you have this loose rock, paper, scissors system of bullets are good against shock troopers and scouts, lancers are good against tanks, tanks are good against traditional infantry. But the units like this, or the bosses, just basically add in, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors, meteor. Let me see, can I get a... I want to try and blow up those sandbags. I don't even care about hitting the unit. Nope. Didn't do it. Now they're dead. I'm going to start moving over here. And this again leads into why the scripted nature of the maps tend to break the tactical element of the game. Because if I know exactly how it's going to go at each and every time, it's not really about me playing strategically, but it's just about me kind of going with the motions. And again, because of the CP system, a lot of my characters are just going to be left by the wayside. Because if I try and use them, I'm kind of in deep trouble. Now he's going to try. Oh! That is just a damn lucky hit by the AI. And the reason that I know there's a boss here is because the first time I played this map, I failed. Because I moved a unit into the base, I triggered the event, and then basically I was completely out of position and he killed me almost instantly.
I'm so on it.
And this becomes more and more annoying in the later series when they introduce the concept of subclasses and special units who can perform unique tasks. Now I'm going to try and move in here. She's going to get knocked out. There's no way I'm going to save her. Because the tank is shooting me from behind.
In trouble here?
So let's see if we can save her.
Roger.
But the sandbag issue is that even if I attack from a flank where the sandbag is not covering, the enemy will still get a defensive boost. And this is kind of what I've been trying to coin, like a ludo-mechanical dissonance. You have enemies in this being flanked, but they are still getting defended. And again, if I were to try and take a sniper who's supposed to be the counter to that, they wouldn't be able to kill them in one shot.
Roger.
Now, what I'm doing here is I just gotta get over here to her.
Medic.
Don't you worry.
And as long as we get them back, she's safe.
I'm begging you. Help, please.
Oh, thanking you. Now again, the tank is able to hit me with its normal gun. So now, again, in order to get the best scores, I'm basically playing this very unoptimally. Now, I can't hop this. And the reason is I need to take this camp. Again, crouching is our magical defense. And what I'm going to do now is retreat one of my units here. We only need another character.
I totally got it.
So to retreat, we just head back to there. And this will let me call in a Lancer, who is again the anti-tank unit. I'm going to move my sniper up. And again, you're going to see kind of the issue here. Now, they don't know that I'm there, which is why they're not crouching. So let's see if we can get a lucky shot. Nope. But if they were crouching, the sniper wouldn't be able to do anything. And this is the converse of this is what happens on maps where there are enemy snipers. If you don't see a sniper and you leave an infantry unit out of cover, they will kill you. Oh, that's not good. He knocked out my cover. Ooh. He is destroying my tank, isn't he? But I can't get close enough to do anything about it. And yeah, the base, I just can't do anything with it just yet. Because if I move in there without my tank, we're going to lose. Now, another option you have are orders. These are basically buffs you can provide at the cost of CP. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call in one of my Lancers. They'll come next turn.
Roger.
We'll bring her a little bit closer. And again, notice he's now crouched. So even though I'm getting a aim on his head, it won't do anything to him. Let's not step on that mine. Can't get the shot. Now, because our friend here is right now out of cover,
Roger.
I need to move him over here. That will get him situated for anyone who comes down that line. Again, these two up here are just useless at this moment because they are completely out of position and there's no one there to do anything with.
I'll try my best.
Now we can use the engineer tool to repair the tank. Which, if you couldn't do this,
Thank you.
the boss fight would be impossible.
Leave the back up to me.
Let's see if we can at least snipe that one Lancer. Come on, one shot, one kill, right? Oh my god. At this point, I have no other targets, nothing I can really do, so we gotta just try and take him out before he gets into cover. Thank you.
I'm not done yet.
But again, the other guy, because he is behind cover right now, it's just a magical defense, basically. I have one more action. I think what I will do is send her back to base. Because we're going to need to pull in another shock trooper, I think. Or maybe even another Lancer. Oh!
I can't feel.
Okay, that tank is just being a freaking beast this time. I don't know what's going on here. I think the game must know I'm recording. And is making things extra hard. Come on. They can recapture bases, but normally they're just more focused on trying to deal with me. Alright, our Lancer is finally here. And It's his job to deal with this tank, because the tank is just too damn annoying otherwise.
Roger.
Right in the weak point.
Take this.
There we go. Again, rock, paper, scissors at work.
Good.
Who are these guys?
Again, give them the super defense. I'm going to spend some CP to get in another shock trooper.
I'll try my best.
Let's see. Oh, should probably disarm that.
Medic!
Don't worry, she'll be fine next round.
Stay with us. It won't be long now. Please, help them. Please.
But as I was saying, with the snipers, it becomes very annoying because they can just deal with you almost unheeded if they're in the right position. And because of how sandbags work in the game, it basically rewards defenders. Which, because you are going to be assaulting enemies, is what you're going to be doing for the majority of the game.
Watch out for gunfire from long range.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going to try and blow up
Try to act as soon as
this
you see a
magical
target.
sandbag here so we can not have to deal with it. Alright, let's go. Hoop. Alright. He is out of cover, and I am out of position, so we need to deal with him before our engineer bites it.
Roger.
Goodbye.
Dying time. You're dead.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
So get him back over here. Alright, so we've kind of taken over this map. I'll move our engineer over into the base just so that we don't have to worry about any sneak attacks. This is an infantry mine.
Stay strong.
Again, as long as they are next to the sandbag, they get the defense. And now we have one more.
Engaging the enemy.
Let's move him up. Yeah, let's move him up.
Try to keep a grasp on your surroundings.
And again, normally, if we were doing this from a strategy point of view, I would have been sending some units around to deal with the enemy base by now. But because I know that there is a boss coming, it doesn't make sense to go out there. Because I'm going to trigger the boss the second we get too close to the base. He shouldn't be able to get into range to do anything horrible. Good. Get him.
Dying time.
Again, he got his little defense. And also, take note of how long this mission actually is. Because there's very little that has to go wrong for you to lose a map and lose like 20-30 minutes of
Entering
gameplay.
combat.
So now we're going to move our tank up.
Do you have visibility there?
You can't even get cover behind a tank either. It doesn't provide sandbag defense. Alright,
Meet Empire.
so Haynes.
Quit hogging them, Haynes.
That is very annoying too. It's a percent chance of them basically evading like that. but you don't see what the percent chance is.
Shooting time.
There we go, now you're dead.
You're dead.
We'll leave Haynes there to recover. And right now, I need to send someone to deal with that anti-tank weapon. Because if I don't, we're going to be in deep trouble when our tank gets here. Again, watching out for mines. We may have to go the long way.
Rest easy. I'm on it.
And again, the CP system here is just going to lead to a lot of dead time as we're just trying to move units up.
Bring me ammo.
They'll keep moving units around, but they're not going to be able to do much here until the boss arrives. While we're waiting for things to go through, I can talk a little bit more about what happens in the later one, later Valkyria Chronicles. I played the second one, which became PSP only. Like I said earlier, they introduced the idea of subclasses, which is really nice, allowing you to further differentiate the different units. The problem is that they tie it to finding resources, which you can only get by, of course, grinding out maps. And due to the design of the game, again with the power of the units, you basically are forced to do it if you want to stand any chance of surviving. And again, even with that said, once you start running into elite or boss units of those specials, it becomes a nightmare. Alright, let's see if we get a snipe somehow with a tank. A tank snipe. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So let's see what we can do here. We need to get up to the anti-tank unit. We're not going that way. Again, can't crouch behind those things.
Beat Empire.
Haynes is ready.
Enemy
All
there.
clear. Check your current position.
I know it's up there. He's not going to kill him. There's just no way. And again, even if I go around this way, there's no guarantee I'll be able to do that. I think we will pull out a scout.
Roger.
And we're just spending a lot of turns just kind of forcing our way up.
Don't forget to review your equipment.
And that's that. And it wouldn't be so bad about the bosses if there was more, if it wasn't as scripted as it was. Again, they're trying to get behind cover. But basically, I know the second we walk into that base, what's going to happen. Good, we got the evasion this time. Oh, come on, you. Oh, 2 health.
Here we go.
Keep moving him up.
Requesting response. Please come
Come
in.
on. I know where he's going to show up. Let's switch to the machine gun.
Now.
Enemy unit neutralized.
Now, in theory, I should be able to sneak around to the enemy's flag and capture it, negating the boss fight. Okay, so any closer, and I run the risk of setting him off. Yeah, that didn't do anything. There still should be a few more units out there.
Get ready to die, imps.
Again, not going into the base. Also, when the boss spawns, he will be summoning units as well. Get her out.
I'll try my best.
Come on. We're not going to get close into the tank, unfortunately. Oh, wait, maybe we will. If you heard that noise, that meant that we repaired or refilled the ammo. So get their health back to top.
Thank you.
Again, this kind of mechanical or the scripted elements, I think, kind of get in the way of playing the game. Now, if I can somehow snipe this guy, things get a lot less complicated, but we're not doing that. So what's going to happen now? Oh, don't tell me he's going to snipe me. There's only 2 guys left in the base. Oh, he's behind the magic cover. Nope, don't want to move the tank up.
Roger.
Get our sniper somehow into position. Again, we have a bead on him, but the sandbags are making his head thicker.
Roger.
Really hope this works. Oh, perfect. That's like the perfect representation of this problem. Headshot doesn't kill. And again, they did that in order to keep the enemy from becoming too powerful. But again, there should be a more efficient defense against these sandbags.
Don't even think of dodging.
Nice. But she missed! Oh, that's perfect.
Please neutralize the enemy supply base.
I'll get behind a tree here.
Roger.
And what we'll do next turn is just try and force our way into the enemy base. That was a snipe worthy of footage, so I'm glad we got that.
Man down. Every
Because now it means I can send our tank up.
I'll try my best.
Also, putting everyone so close like this is just a surefire way to get killed by the tank.
lost visual on the target.
Good. No, everyone gets reloaded. This would be funny if she can deliver the kill, which, no, she's not doing that. Not having one hit, that's good. Alright, so if things go accordingly, we should be able to do this in maybe 1 or 2 more turns. Alright, you. That probably would have done a lot more damage if this was an M-rated game. Alright, so the enemy base is now completely emptied. So at this point you would think, well, I've won. But you're about to be proven wrong.
Just try to stop me.
Let's see what happens when we step foot in the base. Event.
I got here as soon as I could, but you know,
And now we have a boss fight. This actually, incidentally, bosses in strategy games has me very interested to see what they're going to do with Phoenix Point. And having situations like that there.
Fresh meat found.
I can't
Do you have visibility there?
get it. And this is again another big complaint. If we had the option, we could sneak around and do something very interesting. But no, because of how the level is designed, I can't move up.
Entering combat.
So now all I can do here is just keep plugging away. Can't even sneak behind them because there's no way I can get a unit close enough.
All right.
What I'm doing right now is just trying to position people away from that tank.
Get ready to die, imps.
Yeah, and if I move out of cover here, the machine gun of that tank will just demolish her.
Found one.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a kill here.
Die, die, die!
Guns have a minimum range as well. So even though she got headshots, she did 1 point of damage.
On it.
Again, because I knew there was a boss here, well, this is why I brought my Lancer. Who somehow completely missed the tank. Again, get him behind. In fact, it may almost be worth it to call out an additional Lancer
Leave the back up to me.
just so we can start shooting. Again, sniper is not going to work against a tank.
Focus on making smart choices, soldiers.
And of course, this also balloons out this match as well. Now they're going to start coming. If he shoots her, she's basically dead instantly.
Underminer fire.
Now he's going to spend another turn backing up. So that way I can't even punish him with a Lancer. And it's these kinds of difficulty spikes that were a major criticism of the game. Oh. Can't do anything about that. And again, I'm just kind of stuck while I'm waiting for things to go here.
not done yet.
So I'll move him a little bit further back. This should be safe enough. And tanks do not repair themselves normally. You have to use an engineer.
Here we go.
Oop. Now you can shoot his treads out to make him less mobile, but shooting the treads will not kill him.
Roger.
See, we can actually do something here.
Take this.
Again, if he gets too far out, we're basically going to be killed.
my best. Wow, now it won't hurt when I trip.
Okay. And is this kind of basically just like grinding against an enemy that you don't want to see in a game that's supposed to be built on tactical strategy.
Moving out.
If I move her up, she's dead. Like, there's just no way due to these hard counter mixed with the fact that it's a boss. Because I would love to be able to get someone behind there and just rush the camp, but it won't work. Oh, we got one.
Next.
And if you think this is bad, you should see when they introduce elite melee bosses in Valkyria Chronicles 2. That is just a completely greater nightmare to deal with. Now again, he's going to get a shot off.
Fire! Underminer fire!
So look at that. He did about 600 points of damage. Or no, I'm sorry, 700 points. Math is useful here. So he can basically kill me in 3 shots unopposed. If the anti-tank cannon was still around, we would be dead by now, basically. There's nothing I could have done. Oh, now he gets 2.
Minimal.
Technically, he could actually go 3 times, but again, due to the AI, I know what this guy is going to do.
All right.
Come on. So as long as we have 1,400 points of damage, we should be able to just tank him. Metaphorically and literally speaking.
Here we go! Now!
Alright. We took out his treads. So what I'm going to do now
Please don't put yourself at risk.
is I'm going to be brazen here.
I'll try my
Also,
best.
this is a good way of actually showing whether or not this actually works. Because if it doesn't, this is just another unfortunate bad point for Valkyria Chronicles.
Thank you.
But definitely maxing out my health to be on the safe side.
On it.
Now, he has no treads anymore. So in theory, he should be stuck.
General Jaeger. All right. We'll thank the...
Nope, is he leaving?
Well,
One step ahead. They
Oh, finally. Basically, we did enough damage to force the event. But,
Get ready to
again,
die, imps.
something scripted like that doesn't really mesh well with a game that's supposed to be about tactically guiding your units. But we have the mission over, but I'm kind of afraid to see what my rating is
Get
going to
ready
be.
die, imps.
But again, it was a scripted situation that had a scripted end to it. Which may be reasonable for an RPG, but not so much for a game supposed to be about strategy.
up.
Alright, so I'm going to say I got a D rank. Wow, it said before I even had a chance. So the mission is over. We unlocked the new weapon. So then we finish the episode and we are done. So before we head into my final thoughts on the game, I just want to show you what that weapon was that we got. And yeah, you basically want to check R&D every time you finish a main mission. think it was a machine gun, right? Well, first, we unlock the next tier. And you never want to ignore these upgrades. It's just, they're too good and it works for everybody. Again, make our grenades better, make everything better.
Whew, it's done.
Alright. Wonder if it's not available in-game yet. Maybe we can go to the weapons tab and actually look at it. I think this book has a weapons tab, right? So this is their version of the gun, which we should eventually unlock for use. But with that said, we're going to head back to the menu. Hopefully things won't freeze on me. And we'll discuss my final thoughts. Alright. So, when it comes to Valkyria Chronicles, it's a series that I like the idea of it. The combination of the hand-drawn aesthetic and the merge of tactical strategy with RPG gameplay work well, but there's just so many little things that lead to unnecessary difficulty spikes and kind of betray the game being more about tactical strategy. The fact that you basically have to send units on suicide missions to get better rankings is one of those points. The scripted events is another. And it's one of those things that I think it could have been improved on with just some subtle changes and tweaks later into the series, such as being able to have more effective ways of dealing with sandbags, providing more additional forms of cover that didn't punish you or didn't restrict the gameplay. And even, again, trying not to be as brazen with the boss fights. Again, you have to be really careful when you introduce boss situations to games built on rock, paper, scissors combat. It's a very similar issue that I saw with Age of Empires Online. And what happened in terms of, we're going to throw in units who literally countered their counters. And that's not good. If spearmen are supposed to beat cavalry, then an elite cavalry should not be able to take on a group of spearmen. It shouldn't work like that. And we have cases like that in Valkyria Chronicles. That tank could basically wipe out most of my units, including the Lancers, and there's not much we could do about it. And as I said earlier, in the later games, which despite having greater design and more interesting decisions, you also ran into those cases of elite units just demolishing everything. I specifically remember playing a map in the second one when a boss melee unit showed up who just knocked out everyone in my army in one hit. And again, you can't do anything really strategic when the enemy is just completely overpowered like that. But for those of you who have played the series, let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know how Valkyria Chronicles 3 was. For those of you who don't know, number 3 was also for the PSP, but was released in Japan only. And it's one of those games I would like to play. And I know it's a long shot, but considering that this has been ported over to the PC, maybe we can convince Sega to port number 2 and number 3 over. I don't know, but fingers crossed. And if you missed my video on Valkyria Revolution, if you're expecting the same kind of feel and design in that one that's in the Chronicle series, sadly it's not. It's more of a hack and slash rather than strategy. But that's going to do it for this week's Dissecting Design. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed things, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any other games you would like me to take apart for a dissection in the future. And check back for daily discussions of design here and on GameWisdom.com, where we examine the art and science of games. Once again, this has been Valkyria Chronicles. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week for another Dissecting Design. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. and come back around 10 Eastern for regular streaming. For a collection of my writings as well as weekly podcasts on game development, be sure to check out game-wisdom.com. Follow me on Twitter at GWBycer for updates throughout the day. And to help support everything that I do, you can find me on Patreon under GWBycer or Game Wisdom. Your donations can help to keep things running, and when we hit some goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy. So, thanks again for watching, and be sure to come back for daily discussions on game design on the Game Wisdom channel.